Hello. Okay, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. Not too low. All right. Who's next? It's beautiful December. So many changes happening. So many people going through good and bad towers. So many people cleansing their energy. So many people taking back their power. Who's next? Every hour. Leo. Ooh. Okay, so keep in mind these are the original zodiacs before they changed them from the 13th over to the 12th and dropped the fire kiss. All right, so you may fall under the same original category in your date, or maybe it shifted over and you're like, why am I this instead of that? Don't panic. All right, you're still your sign zodiac. These are the original dates, so maybe something resonates with you. Leo, August 10th to September 15th, the Lion, Sapphire, Sun, Peridot, Heart, Pineal, Sun, Gold, and Amber. All right, let's see what we got for Leo. Start off with the tarot. Family, okay, a lot of family-oriented stuff right now. We've got the Queen of Coins in the upright. Somebody that sits pretty. This could be masculine or feminine. Somebody that sits pretty, wears their crown. It's almost like a flower crown. That reminds me of like Midsummer. You know, Midsummer Night's Dream or Midsummer. This could be the we're going to winter solstice, so this could be for your south node, anything you need to overcome right now, any insecurities, any doubts, any kind of shadow work. We've even got two mirroring each other. Okay, if you were to look at the top of this for her chair and then you look over here, they're almost equal. Okay, so we've got like the lighter side and the shadow side. So it's doing your work, doing your inner shadow work, recognizing that people, places, things that are placed in front of you are your mirror of your shadow side if you haven't done the healing on that, and taking full advantage. She's got her hair in a braid. That's symbolic. A lot of cultures did this, not just for certain sustenance, but for protection. This goes all the way back to the Vikings as well. So keep that in mind. You can speak the truth. I'm hoping that you do so. She's got her hands on both arms of the chair, so that's right and left side of the brain. So you have control over your emotions. You have control over your duality if you choose to do so. And that shield that's down there, it almost looks like a wheelchair. Hopefully nobody has to be in a wheelchair, or if you are, it doesn't mean you're any less of a human being. It just means you've battled it out and you're one hell of a warrior. But this is giving me like protection, like wheels or something like that. So maybe this has to do with your own vehicle. And it's surrounded by the pentacles, so maybe you have to put money into the vehicle, or your vehicle is safe and secure. Maybe you paid off your car recently. Congratulations, Leo. Or you're going to be getting a new vehicle. Seven of Cups, lots of choices. Okay, so we got all these different cups, and in each one of them, I would consider it as like a challenge or a test or an exam or something like that. You've already been on your journey. You've taken a bit of hits. You're a little bit of patchwork done, so maybe you sew. You've got your belt of orange, which is your sacral. So that's your sexuality and your creativity. And you've got like a nice shawl on there that's green, which means you do things out of your heart chakra. Hopefully it stays that way and nobody's led you off your path. Maybe you have a string of beads, or somebody gave you pearls, or you gave somebody pearls. That's symbolic for like ocean pearls. So all the hard work and labor and energy that you put into something, maybe it's starting to pay off. Maybe things were not going in your favor so much, Leo, previously. And I'm seeing that little, it's not a mosque, but I don't know how to explain that. I'm seeing, so whatever was not going well had to do with, can you see that? It's like a building. Had to do with a community or something like that. Or certain people, or maybe cults. Not saying you're in a cult, don't get me wrong. But sometimes the way people function, especially in religious views can come off as cult-like. Certain doctrines are something that people have to follow. Maybe it was not helping you in your highest self. Yeah, 8 of Swords. So you felt bound to something in the past. I don't know if this is still your energy, but if it is, keep in mind you have more than enough energy and the capacity to make certain changes to go in your favor. Fellowship. Okay, so you could have been following certain people, or certain people were following you. And again, that building comes up in the background here. So you've been influenced by a group of people. Whoever you are, Leo, maybe you were not aware of this. Maybe you become fully aware of what's going on. I want to turn on the heat. So maybe you feel like you've been left out in the cold a little bit, and people have been kind of clouding your judgment. The swords can also represent words too. So maybe people are speaking certain words over you, which has allowed them to dominate over you. But all these handles are empty. There's nobody holding the swords anymore. So maybe the words are still floating around, maybe in your subconscious, or the cruel things they've said in the past, or hurtful things they've done to bind you. Also getting here something to do with like mastectomy. So maybe you survived cancer. This could have been something that was placed on you, some form of spell work or some sort of burdens. In my opinion, I believe that the whole idea of cancer itself, even unfortunately in younger youth, whatever that negative energy that is carried through the bloodline in the DNA, when our vessels can't handle a certain kind of negative energy, sometimes it shows up in the physical form. So when in the form of cancer, it's itself, the Cancerian energy, that's got to do with emotions. It's got to do with the moon, which in my opinion is the brain, and all the things that are kept hidden in there, secrets, or anything that is not spoken, anything that's in a form of regret, or what's the word I want to use, like shame or guilt. Huge impact on the body, shame and guilt have. So you could have survived that. You could have went through a mastectomy. Don't think any less of yourself. This could be man or woman. It's not just pertaining to a woman. It is prevalent in women. There's room for growth here. Once you get out of those binds, if you're currently in them, or if you've already gotten out of them, there's room for growth. You've got a little bush on the side, fully functioning. It's doing the photosynthesis, so transmuting energy into something. We've got the Queen of Clubs in reverse. So this could be a daughter of yours, or a feminine energy, maybe even an aunt or a sibling. If it's sister, any kind of guilt energy that's coming down from mother, sister, or anything like that. Typically, this Queen of Clubs is supposed to be in a good energy. This doesn't feel like yours. This feels like the influence over this 8 of Swords. This is somebody that's very skilled in what they do, and they know exactly when they have an effect on another person. They use their knowledge and wisdom for maybe not such good reasons. They use it as like because the club, for this Queen of Clubs to be in the reverse, her club is, instead of facing down, it's now up. So she's using it as a form of a weapon against either you or other people. This doesn't just feel like it's just you. Like I said, it's in a community. What else can we get for the Queen of Clubs in reverse? Who is this? They believe that this is a form of justice, whatever they're trying to do. However, I don't feel that to be true. Whatever they're doing, they believe it's a form of justice. They could have kind of the whole letting it get to your head. If they suffered, as you did, some form of trauma or whatever, and they were granted some sort of gifts to use from their ancestors, they're not using it for good. However, they justify it as they're using it for good. They still have guidance. They still have ancestors. Maybe they share the same ancestors with you, and they want to bring in justice, but they're not doing it in the right way. 1 after 10, so that's 11, that's 2. This could have something to do with twin flames, or some sort of partnership, or ex-lover, or maybe if this is a sister of yours, they had an effect on your sister. Your sister, oh, they had an effect on your sister. Okay, so she was maybe placed under bondage as well. If this is like a cult-like mentality, your sister was swayed to do certain things and maybe she came up against you. She definitely used words against you, no problem. And there's 2 male influences that have something to do with this. So whatever this is, she still had the cloak of red. So it's in the root chakra, a lot of family-based and reason to live. And she's still in a dress of purple, so she had her 3rd eye chakra lit as well. You both seem to have that capability. You both don't have a problem speaking your truth. But whoever was guiding this one here, on the moon at the bottom of the deck, whoever was guiding this woman here, or man, had the influence of 2 men over her, or 2 guides. This could be ascended masters with malintention. See, the thing that I don't understand is that even people of power, even people, these are, let's think of them as grown adults with inner children. Even grown adults that get into a status of power due to the trauma that they endured as children, instead of learning the lessons, they've learned how to manipulate and get through certain tests and trials and stuff like that, or place or project onto other people so that they don't get the repercussions of it or have to learn the lesson, but they still get to wield whatever dagger, sword, or form of justice that they see fit, which is not okay. That's all changing. Everything's being flipped around now because people that have not healed are not going to necessarily do good for the general collective. They're not necessarily going to enact justice on those with the right intentions, and that's a problem. It's been a problem for a long time because we've got people in higher seats right now, or sitting higher up in rankings, that I don't want to say don't deserve it, but they clearly haven't healed their inner child. So their inner child's kind of taking the wheel and steering, which would be their shadow side, but that inner child is still hurt. So when people do things out of hurt, they're just hurting other people. And it's really not helping the new world, the way things are supposed to be developing right now. We've got a lot of light workers that have done the work. They've done the shadow work. They've gone within. It's painful as fuck. And I speak from experience. But it's not the easiest path to go on. But once you start doing it, it becomes like everything else. It's like a bike. You never forget it. You never forget how to transmute. You never forget how to use your manifestation skills in a higher light, not just for yourself, but other people around you as well. What else can we get for Leo? If this is not a sister, the Queen of Clubs in reverse, this could be a brother too that's highly in their feminine energy. But I'm picking more up sister energy. And then we got the Knight of Clubs in reverse. So this could be the brother energy I was just picking up. This is a younger mentality, somebody that didn't get to the full king status. Oh, and we only have part of the deck in my hands as I shuffled. Okay, so there's a lot of things. I'm going to put that back. There is a lot of things that are not being shared amongst the rest of them. It's like having each of you have, if this is a family dynamic, each of you have different parts of the puzzle, but not necessarily because there's external forces or one particular person that is aware of the whole picture that's not allowing you guys to come together to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And I don't want to say this is an influence of or past loved ones or people that have already passed away, but it very well could be, but they're just cycles. So once each of you have passed your test, you've learned the lessons that you need to learn, you'll be able to come together without fighting, and you'll be able to get the full picture so that there's no reason for a wrong display of justice. I don't know why I want to put it that way. I need some more clarity on that. For Leo, what's this justice? Who is this influence? Forgery, the crime of counterfeiting, that which is forged or counterfeited. This could be symbolic for energy, this could be symbolic for paperwork, this could be symbolic for marriage, getting together, or putting somebody else's name on something, or making a person a scapegoat of the family, meaning placing all the burdens on one person. But that could do a number to a person if they're not being in their full power and staying strong. But we had the Queen of Coins over here. I'm going to space these out a little bit. Maybe everything's jumbled. It's not fully coming through clear. Yeah, we had the Queen of Coins first. So if this is you, Leo, you have the capability of doing this. You've already stepped into your solar plexus energy before. It's like that lion that you tamed. Strength, fearless. I don't see it up on here, but that's definitely what I'm picking up. If somebody forged something or did something incorrect, whether it be in the spiritual realm or here in the 3D, that needs to be brought to justice. That could have kept you bound for a long time. Getting something to do with bamboo or something to do with a long green stick. Trust, reliance, confidence, hope, credit. Credit itself, the definition of that is somebody's like their integrity, what they carry. That could be name, that could be energy, your blueprint, whatever it is, that is technically credit. So the fact that we base everything here in the 3D matrix off of credit is kind of symbolic. Well, how are you keeping your integrity intact? How are you standing up for your own energy? Are you embodying your own energy? Or are you allowing other people to have an influence over you? This is also saying you have to have trust in yourself too, in the divine universe as well. There's something that's on the table. It almost looks like what you would pour a tea out of, but I'm also getting those hookahs or something that you would smoke out of. I don't know if you could see that. It's like a very slender thing that looks like you would pour tea out of it, but it almost looks like it has a hose to it. So maybe that's symbolic. What do they smoke? Hashisha? Hashish? What do they smoke with those little coal? They put it on top. It's supposed to be relaxing, help digestion, good for meditating. Maybe you need to meditate more. That which is entrusted, this could be a trust fund, safekeeping, care, management. So you could be in a management position, or somebody else was, to rely on, to believe, to entrust, to sell upon credit, to be confident, to have reliance, to confide readily. So this is talking to other people, okay? And to held in trust, again with the whole trust fund, or holding something. And this is the Queen of Coins. So if you hold something for other people, maybe you're like the family bank, or that's just a position that you were given. Seeing the cane again. Fathom, a measure of length containing 6 feet. This could be the whole idea of 6 feet under as well, but this is fathom, to imagine, to perceive as well, to try the depth of, to sound. Sound is also frequency, which is a vibration, which is also information. To master, okay, you could be mastering yourself, or this is something you need to master. And to comprehend, which is an understanding. Okay, that gives me a little bit more. What else can we get for Leo? For the 8 of Swords, what is keeping this person bound? Oof. 3 of Swords. Heartbreak of the worst kind. I've experienced this myself. It's very painful. There could be 3 women involved, but not necessarily. This is something that is like a family curse or a cycle that's passed down through your generations, and it's come to you. You could have experienced this sort of betrayal, this sort of pain. Now keep in mind, this heart here is supposed to be being stabbed. I'm not saying it has to be gory, but there's a couple other images in this which would allow me to believe that he could have. This person, rest in peace, who created these images for these cards, could have put gore in there, but he didn't. The heart's not actually stabbed. So this is a frame of thinking. Whatever this 8 of Swords is the 3 of Swords. So this is a state of mind. It's a way you're thinking about it. It's the way you're holding on to it. If you have not let go, I'm seeing a stove. If you have not let go of something, Leo, whether it be a betrayal or something that happened to do with love, this could be family, friends, past lover, or something like that, you need to let go. You need to be able to let go and release that. If you have to cleanse, if you have to sage, do salt baths, do something to cleanse your energy, purge, get rid of items that no longer serve you, that hold that sort of imprint of another person's energy. If you're holding on to it, let's say you have a person's shirt or a cross, I don't know why I said that, or a piece of jewelry or something, and you just cling to it like a blanket, like a safety blanket, then you're also holding on to their energy too, which could have negative ties to it, negative attachments to it. And then that would mean that you're going to have to deal with that karma and find the solution or learn about whatever issues they had in order to give yourself clarity and closure, which is not fair, because then you're taking on another person's burdens. Now, there's also much to do with the past ancestors and the breaking the curses and healing the bloodline, but when you start taking on other people's when you don't need to, that's just adding even more, and that's not necessary. Especially when it comes to a past lover, okay? Keep that in mind. I'm not trying to ridicule you here. I'm just saying. And those bells are hanging by a thread, 2 of them. So 2 of the influences that either created this scenario or had an influence on the scenario to keep you in some sort of bondage, they're hanging by a thread. There's not too much left, and even if it goes back to them karmically, which it normally would, then those swords that they try to create for you or your situation or end something for you, it's gonna cut those threads. And then they'll have done it to themselves. But we have movement. Chariot, okay, this is also protecting energy. This is also emotions, moon energy. He's got the right arm up, so that would be the left brain, so logically thinking. You have control over the direction. Then we have the symbol, the upside down triangle, which I think is that water energy? You'd think I'd memorize these by now. Yeah, it's water. And then right underwater, I've got warless. I got it in pencil. Warless. But you got this symbol here on the chariot. Right here in between the 2 horses that guide the chariot. You got that triangle right there. Okay, and you are guided. Maybe you look up to the stars, or that's symbolic for you. You are guided in some way by the stars. You could be an astrologer. Have a little bit of fun. Maybe go sledding. There's lots of snow coming out. It's nice, good, slippery snow. Be careful driving, especially your chariot. Now, each of these horses, they have cuffs on the bottom of them. So that could be the form of restraint, but there's still movement forward. You still have to pass whatever test this is. Okay, you've got 8 of swords and 3 of swords. So this is what's led to this feeling of being tied up or bound to something. But you're not actually bound, because you've got more than enough options in front of you. It's a personal choice. Red and white makes pink. So that would be crown chakra. You have armor. You have third eye activated and lit. And you've also got the arrow as well, which is symbolic for Cupid. Or Eros. What was the thing I broke down? Cerberus. Eros is in there. And I believe it's Aphrodite. Is Eros possibly Aphrodite's child, and something to do with Cupid shooting the arrow through a heart? There's a small little opening within that heart that if the arrow went through, it would go through you without killing you. So you can be shot in the heart and survive. You can go through heartbreak and get through this and survive. That whole idea about Valentine's Day. Maybe something symbolic happened to you on Valentine's Day. Whatever this is, you're going to get through it. There is movement. What else can we get for the chariot? Concede. Conceding to yield to grant. So maybe you granted somebody else's wishes, or your wishes will be granted. To yield to is usually to hold up, like when you yield in traffic or you yield to pedestrians. It means you stop for a moment, you wait, till something's passed, and then you move forward, okay? To make a concession. So maybe you're building something, you have your own business, maybe you are selling something, or concession, like a concession stand. So that would be like bartering, that would be like merchandise, that would be stuff you hold on to under a tent, so that's a form of protection. Seems like street market. I don't know what that has to do. Maybe that's symbolic to you. Take what resonates. And then reprimand, a severe proof or fault. Okay, so maybe you have proof of something, what somebody has done. Maybe you could have been found guilty of something and blamed for something. So maybe there was a form of betrayal when it comes to like the Three of Swords, and it actually wasn't what they made it out to be, because you come off as the Queen of Coins in the upright. So whatever the circumstance happened that led to your heartbreak, maybe the people responsible behind it, like this Queen of Clubs in reverse, didn't take responsibility for it. They let you take the fall for it. So then you were blamed for it, and ultimately you get held accountable. So it's like you're being charged for a crime that you didn't commit, or you did commit a crime and you're holding yourself hostage. Okay? And what else we got here? To administer a sharp rebuke to. So you could be rebuking something. Maybe you need to forgive yourself, move forward. Sapphire, significance. So if you need to go within, maybe if it's having a bath or doing a cleanse or something, and you have like a ring, a sapphire, star sapphire ring, or maybe you have some sort of sapphire, you can use that to your advantage for amplification, okay? Then we got church, a house consecrated to the worship of God among Christians. So you yourself could be Christian. You could really, truly follow the doctrine, the book. Christians, the collective body of Christians, a particular body of Christians, the body of clergy. So maybe this group of people that you do follow, they had you feeling a certain way, or maybe that was your escape. You use the religion to get on the right path. I don't even know that word. Ecclesiastical. I don't even. Ecclesiastical. Authority. To give or receive a service in church as after childbirth. So this could be family oriented. Again, you could be a mother of several children. I'm feeling led away from that. Okay, let's go with past life oracle card. Actually, let's get one clarity card for that. Three of Swords. Were you blamed for something, or did somebody put something on you? Or did they cause a situation and blame you? Ooh. Five of Swords. So a lot of chaos, conflict. A lot of bullshit happening around. And then Five of Clubs right after that. What are the odds? Okay, there's a lot of fighting behind the scenes. Or maybe you're part of this fighting, or maybe you don't want to be part of this fighting. Because this one in the back here has covered his head. He doesn't want to look, or she. And all these ones over here, they're declaring something, but they're not looking for a solution. That's unfortunate. Let's get some movement on that. Maybe that can move forward, okay? Let's get a past life oracle card for Leo. Biblical, again with the religious. Following a certain pattern, following a certain blueprint, following a certain way things have always been done. In this, he's holding the hammer, so maybe you get to make certain judgments too, not just this other person over here, the Queen of Clubs in reverse. There is some sort of authority here, calling judgment. And then there's a handsaw in the back. That usually takes two people to work. Pulling back and forth over a log, that takes two people to run. You could try to do it yourself, but it's a lot fucking harder. Maybe you felt like you've done things on your own your entire life. You keep your head covered. This could be for warmth, or this could be a religious symbology of something. But this is a past life oracle card. So whatever this is, there's some sort of resonance here for you, Leo. Whether you're following the same footsteps as your ancestors or your family members, you got to keep in mind you got to be able to do something for yourself too. Don't forget that. There's a lot of fighting here. Yellow and red. Fighting over root chakra, fighting over solar plexus chakra. Communal living. A lot of people involved here. There's like a ladder here that is propped up to get to the next level. So in DNA, the helix is like a ladder, not a ladder, it's like a ladder. And so there's different levels to it. And each level has different letters. So that could be symbolic for you if you knew your DNA, if you knew the sequence, those letters are symbolic to you. And you'd use that in Gematria. So each letter represents a number as well, or you could just use the letters themselves. But you have a specific DNA that's allowed you to get to certain levels. This has to do with communal living, so multiple people in your energy, or that are a part of this whole thing, or that are fully aware of what's going on. There's a ladder there. It almost looks hidden. But there's another one over here too. And this building looks to me like the tower, but the tower has not fallen. So it's built on a firm foundation, but the tower itself, eventually, if it's not maintained, unless it's built like way back when, then that shit never falls. There's a reason our ancestors built things the way they did, unlike now that, you know, a steady gust of wind or a monsoon, or like like they've, no offense, not trying to project onto anybody here, like in Florida when they have the hurricanes and stuff, anywhere really, and it just destroys building. It's like if you build it out of shitty material and you do it really quickly within like a month, then how do you expect it to stand a test of time? You got to build a solid foundation, not a faulty foundation. That's very clear. It's not the first time I've said that. What else can we get for Leo? Any singles or partnership? The girl with the snake. Empath, narcissist, paradigm. Being charmed or used, enabled boundaries. The snake also shows up in one of the options as the 7 of Cups. Okay? Being right here. So be careful what choices you're making and who you are associating with. You could be both empathetic and a bit of a narcissistic tendency. It doesn't mean you're a true narcissist, but you have the tendencies. And you could have been charmed or used. Make sure you're enabling your boundaries. Talking, interested, conversating more. Awaited messages arrive, text, call, email, and hovering. Either somebody else is watching you or you're watching somebody else and you're waiting, or you want a message to arrive.